It's now time for Media Watch. James Creedon joins me in the studio. Hello to you, James. A video showing sexual harassment in the street has gone viral on the French web, and it was actually filmed with a hidden camera. Is that correct?
That's right. Now, this was Sophie Peters. She's a journalist in Brussels, or a film student rather in Brussels. Now, she had a regular problem in Brussels with sexual harassment in the streets of the neighbourhood in which she lived. Now, she decided to take out her hidden camera, or I suppose to keep it hidden more to the point, and to film the 5 to 10 catcalls, insults, propositions that she had to deal with every day. Now, this has really struck a chord on the French web in France, in Paris. I know it's been the talk of the newsroom. In fact, it was shared all around Facebook. And let's take a look at an extract, in fact. Now, it is subtitled in French, and it's in French, and we'll explain what's happening afterwards, but I think it's pretty self-explanatory what's going on.
Bonjour.
Oui.
Vous en train de faire?
Non, merci.
Un verre ensemble ou quoi?
Non, merci.
Chez moi à la maison, bien sûr, pas dans un café. L'hôtel, le lit, tu connais direct.
Vous comprenez pas? Je veux pas.
T'es sexy, tu me donnes envie, c'est normal, non?
Alors, petit fait fesses.
Petit fait fesses. Chienne. Salaud.
That is some outrageous harassment.
There's a reason I didn't dub it or subtitle it, because it's actually very, very vulgar.
It's coarse, isn't it? Yeah.
Very vulgar. It's, you know, slut, etc., etc., etc. That's about as much as I would say. Now, basically online, this has created a lot of reaction. Let's take a look at what's being said. One journalist here, who is a columnist about society and sexual issues, she says, you know, this is the sort of ordinary, everyday machismo that you're seeing in the streets of not just Brussels, Paris and other cities. And it's not, it's you know, harassment in the street of this nature. It's not flirting, as some people make it out to be or justify it as. And one, just to quote, she said, the most infuriating thing is when you see people saying, hey, what's wrong with you? Do we not have the right to flirt anymore? Or you should be flattered. This is the sort of justification that sometimes people come out with.
They are not flattering.
Absolutely.
The thing is, she's not dressed either to invite that kind of behaviour, is she?
That's what struck me too when I was looking at it. It's hardly a provocative way of dressing, you know? And so a lot of people tweeting about it as well online with under the hashtag harcèlement de rue, or street harassment. As this person said here, how many of us now have stopped wearing dresses in summer for years in order to have peace in the street? So people saying that this is really a problem. Harassment in the street, and to think my boyfriend thought that I was the only person that this sort of stuff happens to. And another person here, you know, some of this is actually quite vulgar, it's difficult to read it out. And this one person here saying that he is shocked that this is such a widespread phenomenon. A man tweeting here, not realising that in fact so many women have to deal with this issue in the streets of French and indeed Belgian cities.
And even in the UK as well.
Yeah.
Now we're going to move to another story. London's Mayor Boris Johnson, he had a moment of suspense, a little bit of wordplay there, James, today. That was in London's Victoria Park.
Right. Let's go to the computer and let's take a look at this photo, because it's pretty, again, it's self-explanatory, right? Here he is, dangling with 2 Union Jacks in his hand. Now, this was at London's Victoria Park. Let's roll pictures, because I think we have pictures of it as well. He was a special guest to ride the zip line. So he donned a hard hat, 2 Union Jacks, and, you know, already it's not that dignified, but it becomes even less dignified when he got stuck 20 metres from the finish line, I suppose you could say, and was left dangling for 5 minutes with people shouting up to him, asking how he was feeling. Very, very well, thank you.
He just always gets himself into these very comic situations, doesn't he? Poor thing.
This
now, are we going to take a look at the French senator that tried to entrap his rival? Do we have time for that, or are we going to talk about Marion Cotillard?
I'll very quickly tell you about the French senator, so I can show you Marion Cotillard. Basically, 2 senators, long-time rivals, 20-year rivals in La Moselle. One, there was a recording has come out, and here it is. The Marianne magazine got their hands on it, where one of them tried to entrap the other with a honey trap, an underage prostitute in Morocco. He tried to set up this deal where the second UMP senator would be entrapped, and that they're from the same political party, the UMP party. The recording came out, and so you know, there's going to be a court case about this, but it's an extraordinary case of attempted entrapment of a politician in your own political party. Crazy stuff.
You think they'd know better. Now, we don't unfortunately have much time for Marion Cotillard, but can you just tell us where we can go to take a look at this blog?
All right, well, the blog is called People Dying Like Marion Cotillard. Now, that might sound very grim, but for anyone who's seen the latest Batman, apparently she made a bit of a ham of the death scene.
She certainly did.
So here you have people sending in their videos trying to make the most dramatic impression of Marion Cotillard's dying scene.
That's
in
definitely
Batman.
a moment to look out for in the film.
I think it's about
so
the
much.
only reason I'd go to see it.
Thanks so much, James Creedon, and that was Media Watch. Stay with us here on Live from Paris. I'll be back with the headlines in just a moment. Bye-bye.
A hotel in Barcelona. In a good central location. So, yeah, something like this, but for 2 people.
With separate beds?
Sorry.
Come on, more stylish.
Okay.
More like it.
No way.
This one is perfect. Is there a pool?
Yeah, there is.
Trivago compares over 100 websites to find you your ideal hotel at the best price. Hotel? Trivago.